Hello Frenzy, my name is Kate Shark and welcome back to my channel. YouTubers say that, right? So it is a very special time of year. It's that time of year where it's after 5 o'clock and the sun's still out. It's getting a little warmer out, although that's not the case for where I live. I went to work this morning and there were snow flurries going on. The sun is usually shining, the birds are singing, flowers and trees are in bloom. It's yes. Spring is in the air, and that means prom season, all you high school kids. Oh, I always liked prom season when I was growing up, especially in high school, mainly because it meant there was only like a month left in the school year, and summer vacation was always fun because, especially when I was a teenager, because it meant limited supervision and lots of tornado making.
Hey everyone, post-edit, Kate Shark here. I just realized some of you don't know what a tornado is. If you don't know what a tornado is, then congratulations. I'm guessing you probably had cool parents who wanted to monitor your drinking and keep you safe by buying you booze so you didn't go out and get it from some stranger in an alley. Or you had an older sibling that could get the booze for you. But there are many of us out there who didn't have these luxuries. For example, some of us had parents that would rather inflict the fear of God into us, or we were the oldest sibling and had no other way of getting it. So what did those of us who fell into those categories do when we couldn't get booze? We made tornadoes. Now, please note, I am not condoning underage drinking, but I'm also not stupid. I was young once myself and knew if I wanted it, I was going to get it. If you don't know what tornadoes are, if your parents had a liquor cabinet, you basically grabbed whatever shit was in that cabinet and you mixed it all together. Oh yeah. And I'm talking any and everything. Tequila, vodka, rum, scotch, whiskey, anything that was in there. It didn't matter. You mixed all that shit together and you tried to cut that shit down with pop in an effort to make it taste somewhat drinkable. Was it awful? Of course it was. Did it get you drunk? Of course it did. Did your toilet look like a tornado hit it just hours later when you were sick everywhere? Of course it did. That's how it got its name. That is what a tornado is. So, quick legal cover for my ass. Do not drink if you are underage. And if you are of age, please drink responsibly.
Oof. With it being prom season, I was actually at my mom's house over the weekend and actually stumbled across a box of photos. I happened to be looking through them, and a lot of the photos I thought were lost to the numerous floods that seem to find their way into my parents' basement over and over again. But there's a box of photos, and I found a bunch of my old prom pictures, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through them and kind of give some stories, because there are some fun stories that go along with some of these pictures. And not all of them are prom related, maybe like formal dances, but prom being the big formal thing going on in around this time, I figured why the hell not? You know, I'll share some stories with you guys, and who knows, maybe you guys will get a kick out of them. Or maybe you'll just get a kick out of the pictures. I know I do sometimes. But let's dive straight in. Okay, so this isn't exactly prom-esque. This is actually more so like a formal dance type deal. Now actually this picture is from my confirmation. If you're Catholic, you know what a confirmation is and what a big deal it is. If you don't, basically a confirmation is the Catholic equivalent to a bar mitzvah. So it's basically where you come, at 13 you come of age in the church, so to speak. It's supposed to be where you're become an adult, as seen, at least in the church's eyes, and that you're supposed to be able to make decisions on your religion and your faith and things like that. That is a damn lie. They just want, I don't know what it is. You put in a shit ton of work and you get nothing out of it, because then you're supposed to be able to make the decision whether or not you want to go to church or not. Not true. Not true at all. That decision doesn't come until after you've moved out of your parents' house. So, I'm sorry any kids out there going through confirmation classes right now. It's a lot of work with no payoff, I can tell you that right now. That's not fair, because I know some kids are really into it, but it's a lot of work, and you don't even get to learn. Hell, even the Jewish kids get to learn Hebrew out of it. We get nothing. You get an extra name added on to what's probably a really long name as it is. The confirmation sort of coincided with a dance called the 8th grade dance that my middle school had, and the whole thing about this was it was supposed to be this dance that made the kids feel special. I don't know why. It was a really exclusive dance. that it was just for the 8th grade class of my middle school. You couldn't invite kids from other schools. You couldn't invite underclassmen to go. Just the 8th graders got to go. And it was actually like a really boring dance, because I went to other dances, like, you know, in 6th and 7th grade and growing up, and even in 8th grade I think I went to a dance or two, and it just seemed really stuck up for something that's supposed to be so formal and fun. It was really stuck up and kind of boring, because if you had friends in other classes, or, you know, it was no fun. You didn't get to hang out with them. You just stuck with the entire class, and it was like just a much smaller dance with a lot of expectations that it just didn't meet to. But the thing about that dance was it was very strict, and they wanted girls to wear dresses and they wanted boys to wear suits and ties. And 13-year-old Kate was not about no damn dress. I was not wearing a dress for shit. And I've gotten better about it over the years. I'll wear a dress now if I absolutely have to. It's not my go-to. If like I have a formal affair, I'll wear a suit. I definitely won't wear a dress. I'm not comfortable in them, but I'll wear one if I need to. So my mom actually tried to emotionally blackmail me into going, because she had told friends of mine that when we go to this dance, I'll take you guys out to eat after, and we'll stay out, you know, we'll stay out late and have a late dinner and, you know, have fun afterwards. And all my friends were all excited about it, and so my mom had said something about looking for a dress. I said, well, I'm not going, so there's no point. Like, just in a constant lock of like chess, like, well, I'm not going unless it was like a constant, well, I'm not going to take your friends unless you go, and I've already promised them. And I said, well, I'm not going to the dance because they make you wear a dress, and I'm not wearing a damn dress. Granted, I did not say that. 13-year-old me would have gotten the shit smacked out of her if I came back with that. But I think I even told my mom, if you let me wear a suit and tie, I will gladly go, which my mom was not about. Was not having that whatsoever. And I was happy to go in like a suit and tie or a tux if she wanted to get me one, but no, that was not happening. So so she actually went to the school and got special permission and bought this pantsuit for me to wear. And it actually turned out really well, because I wore it for confirmation and I wore it for the 8th grade dance. I think I even wore it for a few other things too. So in the long run, it's like I actually saved my mom a buttload of money, because I got quite a few uses out of the thing before I grew out of it. I was looking through these and I actually noticed like 13-year-old me looks a lot like Eliza from The Shape of Water. Weird. Anyway, so my first prom I went to was actually my sophomore year of high school, so I was 15 at the time. And the only reason I really went was because I was in this group of friends. It was mostly upperclassmen, and there was one other girl who was a sophomore as well. We all decided, well, we're all going to go to prom together. The dress I picked out I never even bought that dress. I actually borrowed it from like a coworker of my dad's that did a bunch of beauty pageants. And that one just happened to look decent and fit me pretty well, so that's the one I went for. And there I am, showing off my back, there with my date for the dance. And there's me and my two friends. And the funny thing is, I noticed this when I found these pictures. I kind of noticed this. I don't know if we realized this at the time that we were going, but we're actually wearing the school colors. So red, black, and white. Yeah, those were our high school colors, and I don't think it certainly wasn't intentional. That was not the plan when we got this. I only grabbed that one dress, because that's what I thought looked good on me, and then I think they bought their dresses and they got the dresses that look good on them. So there's that. And also, funny story is, under those we were all wearing garters. We found garters like for sale at Claire's, and thought it'd be funny if we bought them and wore them under our dresses, and that's what we did. And in fact, I should have seen if I could have found the garter picture. The garter picture is when we were actually at prom. We happened to tell some people like we were wearing garters under there, and someone didn't believe us, and so there's a picture of us, and we all hiked our dresses up, showing off our legs with the garters on them. So there was that. And I didn't have the picture. Of one of the girls had it, and she actually had put it, I think she put it up like on her fridge, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember going to her house after, and there's her legs with garters up on the fridge. I'm sure her parents loved that one. But yeah, so that was that here with my friends. That was the actual professional prom photo with my date. And my school was so fucking cheap that I think they kept reusing that backdrop and stuff years and years later. Because I remember I went to my senior prom, I think that was the same one they were still using. Good one, school. Although I can't blame them. I'm sure they were probably working with like a zero budget, so they probably had to. And another funny story about this, the week leading up to this prom was our spring break. And I actually spent the spring break on a trip to New Orleans with a bunch of other fellow high schoolers. I will not say what the trip was for, but we went down there and we went and we happened to take a walk down Bourbon Street one night, and I earned my beads at 15 years old. There wasn't much, I don't know how the hell I earned my beads because that dress is mostly padded by that point. Not really anything going on there. So somehow I earned my beads in New Orleans at 15, and my wife hates that story. If you happen to be a teenager watching this and you feel like awkward and strange, okay, let me tell you something. What a difference 6 months makes, because 6 months later, bam, that's what I turned into. I went from the kid in the padded red dress that was very awkward and weird to that. I mean, that's insane. So yeah, like I said, this was 6 months later. I actually didn't go to prom my junior year because I don't know why. Probably because I had already been and thought, oh well, fuck it. But we had a band formal that year, so it was basically just a band prom. That was a prom for the band kids and their dates. Previous year, school year anyway. That was actually like April 2003. Ow. And this picture happens to be October 2003, I think. It's about that time. So, I mean, this was like a matter of 6 months, and a lot had happened in that time. I turned 16, I got my license, my hair had grown out a bit more. A funny story about the hair coming up here. Got my top braces off. My body was kind of starting to form, because I was a late bloomer. I really didn't hit my peak in puberty until for another year, but I was finally starting to hit it there and feeling a little bit more confident. So funny story about the hair. I actually had it professionally done for this band formal, and when I had gone to get it done, the woman who normally did my hair, like cut and styled it, she actually was out of town. I think she was on a cruise or something. So she had another woman take over and do it because she was gone. And I don't know what this woman did, or maybe she had inhaled too much hairspray. But I came out looking like Gene Simmons. And I don't mean helmet head Gene Simmons. I mean demon breathing fire on stage Gene Simmons. Like, oh yeah, like that. And that was pretty much my face and expression when I saw it. I was so upset, like, afterwards. Like, and I don't even think I told the woman how unhappy I was with it. I just went home because I didn't want her to mess with it anymore. My mom came home and wanted to see it. I was hiding behind the door. I was so embarrassed by it. I think I cried when I had gotten home. But I hid behind the door and wouldn't let my mom see me. And my mom always says that it's like my Pebbles Flintstone on crack look. And no, that doesn't even do it justice. It looked like Gene Simmons, honest to God. So we ended up, my mom told me to get in the shower, and I had to wash all the hairspray and shit out of my hair, and we ended up just going with that, which is what my hair looked like on any other day as it was, but I was so much happier with that than Gene, than the demon look there. Don't ask, I don't have a picture. I was so ashamed. I wouldn't have let anyone come near me with a camera with that. Thank God camera phones didn't exist then, because, oof. My senior year, I did end up going to prom. And the main reason I went to prom was because this is gonna sound really weird. I wanted to wear this dress, and I don't have a really good picture of this dress. At least I couldn't find one. Maybe one day I'll find a better one and I can update it. But this dress was this beautiful green dress. A friend of ours, sister, I had actually bought it for a prom. And I thought this dress was absolutely gorgeous. And I'd always thought it, like, if I ever went to prom, I'd ask to borrow it. Which I didn't have the body to do it my sophomore year, so that's why I didn't wear it then. But I finally, like I said, senior year, I finally hit puberty. My puberty woke up whenever I went on the birth control pill. So when that happened, I gained like 15 pounds. And it hit me, and I don't know what happened. It hit me in all the right places, so I could finally wear the dress. And that was it. So I was happy. That's my sister Grace and I doing Blue Steel. There I am with my date, TT. I love how TT is throwing up gang signs. He's like the least gangster person in the world. We actually didn't have dates, so we just said, hey, we're going as each other's date. I think once we got to prom, we kind of went off on our separate ways, but that was cool. That we were fine with it. Another one, I went to prom with a bunch of friends also on this one, and one of the girls we went to prom with ended up, her mom had gotten us reservations at this fancy restaurant in like the downtown area nearby where we lived. She had gotten us these reservations, and we had gone and looked for this place, but we couldn't find it. Town area from the city was absolutely awful. It still is to this day. It's very narrow streets. It's all one-way streets. And even if you've lived here for, you could have lived here for years. If you don't know where you're going, if you're looking for a place you've never been to before, it's easy to get lost. It's not hard. And I remember us going around looking all over for this place, looking, could not find it. And we didn't have GPS at the time. This was springtime of 2005, so we didn't have like a GPS you could just type it into, or a phone where you could just type it into your phone. In fact, we had cell phones, but we were using the cell phones to call our parents back at the house and say, we can't find the restaurant, help us. And they were trying to give us directions, and it just never happened. So we'd actually missed the reservation time, and we knew that we wanted to eat before we went to prom, but we didn't want to go anywhere because I think there was a few schools having prom the same night we were, so we knew it would just be a bunch of kids in the area. All in prom, there's no way we were going to get in. And somehow I had made a joke like, well, we'll just go to Waffle House. And we did. We went to Waffle House, and these kids in their elegant tuxedos and night evening gowns piled into this diner, and there we were, chowing down on waffles. And it's a memory we'll always have. I was just a better picture of the dress a little bit, but this was actually, I got to wear the dress again, because it was a beautiful dress. It's funny you go to prom just to wear a damn dress. But a few weeks later, we had another band event. We had like an annual variety show where we'd do song and dance. Kids would bring their garage bands in and play, and little skits and stuff like that. So they actually, during this time, would do what was called Band Queen Court, where basically they picked representatives from every class, like freshman, sophomore, and junior, and then senior, they picked 3 girls, and then one would win Band Queen. So my sister, Grace, there was actually representative for the freshman class, and I was on Band Queen Court for the seniors at that year. I didn't win, and that's probably because I said if I did win, I was going to throw my head back and cackle. So that's probably why I lost. That, and I didn't give 2 shits. But I was just glad I got to wear the dress again. Funny coincidence, though, my sister Grace ended up winning Band Queen her senior year. So that was kind of a neat little thing. And I think that year, when she was a senior, our youngest sister was the freshman representative for her class. So we were all in there some point or another, and if you notice in this picture, like I'm clutching my stomach, we were actually in a car accident just like days before this picture was taken. Like earlier that week, we were in this horrible car accident, like so bad the airbag deployed on me, and we were both really badly bruised up and beaten up, and I'm surprised you can't see it in this picture, but I had, well, it's a shitty picture, so it's not that surprising, but I had almost, when the airbag hit me, I had like bit through my lip almost completely. So my lip was all torn up on the inside, and we were all bruised. I'm actually holding my stomach because where the seatbelt was had bruised me so bad. I had done the same to Grace too, but we were bad beat up. So we're going through this thing, and like, we were in the song and dance group that would do that, and we're after this wreck, and we're sitting there like, ugh. So there's that. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my little prom stories there. If you have any ones similar to it, or have your own prom story, share it in the comments below. Let's hear them. Let's hear anything's on the table. I don't care. So again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you did like it. Leave a comment down below with any other video suggestions, or with your own prom stories. And as always, be sure to subscribe to this channel to see other videos that I've done. I will see you all for the next one. Had it in that picture.